With respect to the general question of foreign aid, because even in your teaser, there was a young woman who asked about that. Yeah. It's important for folks to understand we only spend about 1% of our budget on foreign aid. But it pays off in a lot of ways, because if we are contributing to an improving economy in a country, if we're giving people more opportunity, if we're preventing a famine that results in huge numbers of refugees, that potentially saves us from having to deal with some military crisis somewhere down the road that could be even more expensive. So aside from it being the right thing to do as a very wealthy country, us trying to help develop other countries, it's also important to make sure that people understand this is part of our overall security strategy. I do agree that a country like Pakistan is one where our relations have gotten more strained because there are a lot of extremists inside that country, and either for lack of capacity or political will, they haven't taken them all on. In some cases, they've been very cooperative with us. In other cases, not as much as we want. So we're always trying to find the right balance of making sure that if we're providing them with aid, they're also providing us with assistance in terms of making our people safer. And there are times where they disappoint us in terms of their performance, but we're going to keep on trying to engage as many countries as possible, mainly because it's good for our national security.
I mean, I understand, what you're trying to do, and I agree. I don't think we should, not help, but I guess when you see the number of people who don't have jobs and you have a college-educated husband, I mean, how are you supposed to tell your children? I just, when you see the hurting and you see the homeless, it's just, I guess, hard for Americans in the middle class to grasp why we do give as much as we do.
Yeah. I understand sort of the source of frustration, but I think it's important to remember, Jennifer, like I said, we spend 1% of our total budget on foreign aid. So, some folks think it's like 25%. I mean, it's a very small portion. And most of the foreign aid we provide is to countries that are also helping us with our national security. And so oftentimes when we're providing that aid for a country, we may be saving a larger amount in terms of what we would have to deal with if they weren't cooperating with us. So that's part of the reason why I always emphasize our defense budget and our foreign aid budget should be seen as an overall package, an overall strategy to keep America safe. Because what we don't want to do is have a situation where certain countries completely collapse, and then the next thing you know, we're having to send our guys in there at huge potential risk and huge cost to taxpayers instead. But it also means when we're providing aid that these countries need to help themselves. And instead of just giving charity, one of the things we're trying to do is to help them develop, so hopefully at some point they become consumers of our goods and services, and we can sell stuff into those countries, and it helps grow the overall pie and helps create a situation where American businesses are doing better as well.